Hello, welcome back to another video. Thanks for coming back to the channel. So today we're going to do a really concise version of how to service the W203 C220 Cdi. So this is for all OM646 engines. There might be some slight variations, but it should set you pretty right on that. So it's like the E220, C220, anything that has that 220 Cdi engine in, the OM646. So I do have a longer video, so if you are struggling, I'm going to try and make it really concise. So I will put in the top right, there'll be a card where you can, if there's any steps, you can refer back to that, and it's really in depth on that video. I explain everything, like, so if you're struggling to see how I'm doing something, chances are it'll be covered in that video as well. But I wanted to do a concise one so it's a bit snappier. Hopefully people can just get the information they need and be done with it. So, right, it's a lovely day, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start with a cabin air filter and just move any of the wiring out of the way, and then there's just 3 tabs at the back. Release them. This just pulls up and away, and the cabin air filter is there. Okay, so old filter out, just pull it from behind the tabs. Okay, and just note the orientation. There's a spider on mine, that's good. New one back in the same way. Okay, and then to reinstall, locate the tabs back where they were. Snap them back into position and reinstall your wiring how it was. Cabin filter done. Engine air filter. Remove the engine cover, simply pulls off. And then there are tabs around the air filter housing. They're captive, so you won't lose them, so just pop them off. I'm just going to get a screwdriver for that. And then there's a tab at the front. Oh, that should just lift up, back and out. Air filter is just located here. Pull it away and out. As you can see, that I needed changing. Just going to clean out the housing as well, blow it out and get all the detritus out of there. Okay, and reinstall the filter. There's no correct orientation on this. Just make sure that the lip is seated around the lip of the MAF here. Push it right on there. And it should clip into place at the back as well, and that's when you know it's properly seated. Okay, and just reinstall this. So push it forward. Make sure that tab's hooked on, push it down, and then you can begin reinstalling all these clips around the side, all the tabs. Could use a screwdriver again to help you get some of the more awkward ones if you can't get your hand in. And that is the air filter done. Next we're going to move on to the fuel filter. Remove the Jubilee clips. Remove the fuel lines from the filter. You will drop a bit of diesel, but it's alright. Remove them. Tuck them out of the way a second. And at the back there is a bolt which I'll confirm size in a minute, which you need to loosen in order to pull the fuel filter out. Okay, and it's a 5mm Allen bit. So the goal is not to remove this bolt, just loosen it up enough so that the bracket that's around the fuel filter can come out. And there we go, fuel filter out. Take your new filter, take the protective caps off, which was harder than it looks. Situate it back in the holder. And get your fuel lines lined up first, so you know it's in the right position. Okay, I know it's in the right position. I'm going to take them off just to actually make the... Oh no, I'll see if I can get around it. I'm going to actually move move these back out of the way now because it is hard to get to the bolt. So I know that's in the right position now. Don't need to be mega tight, it's just holding this fuel filter from rotating. Now I can reinstall the lines. And then re-secure the Jubilee clips, whether these are the one-time ones or the actual Jubilee clips. There we go, fuel filter replaced. Okay, for the oil filter and oil, we're just going to crack the oil filter off first. So you can use either the proper oil filter socket, which I don't have, or you can just use something like this or a chain one or something to loosen it. And then once it's loosened, it should come out by hand. So I'm just going to do this a few times, loosen mine. I should probably buy a set of oil filter sockets because this isn't optimal, but it does the job. Okay, now with gloves on I can just do it by hand. Okay, so we've just got that cracked, and that'll allow the actual oil to drain quicker. So I'm going to go under the car, take all the under tray off. Okay, now I'm just going to go underneath. Oh, my apprentice has already started. Go underneath, zip out all the 8mm bolts that are holding in the under tray. Both under trays you want to remove, and then I'll show you where we're at. Guess while the sun's gone in, hopefully the contrast will sort itself out. But it's under the drain plug is behind. You can see the power steering rack here and like a cross member. I'll try and increase the brightness on post editing, post production editing, and then it's a 13mm, and you can see where my ratchet is sitting. So it's 13mm there, and you want to crack it off, let the oil drain into an appropriate container, and then I'm going to take a break because it's absolutely roasting. Keep it draining, and we'll go up top and do the oil filter while this is draining as well. So okay, I've now replaced the sump plug and the crush washer. I'll put it back into place. I got a new crush washer, as you should always do. Stop oil leaks, tighten it down, and I've put all the under trays back on. So I'm just going to do the actual oil filter. So let me just get a bit of paper towel first. Okay, and that's the oil filter. I'll take the actual filter off. That's the housing. I'm just going to go dispose of this. Give this a wipe down. Okay, now we're just going to remove the O-rings. There's 3. This is the main one back here. One here. And one on the very end. Okay, and the new oil filter there should be some new O-rings as well. And just don't stretch or tear these ones. Get it located right. And final one on the end. Place the actual oil filter. It doesn't really matter which way it goes. Push it on and then all the way down to the bottom. Make sure it's firmly on there. And then we're just going to put a little smear of new engine oil around this O-ring so it snugs down easy and doesn't tear. Don't use old engine oil, it tends to have chemical breakdown products in there from wear and tear, so we'll just do that. Okay, just smear some new engine oil around there. And locate it back where it was. Tighten it down all the way until it bottoms out. I'll nip it up with the ratchet strap thing. There is a torque setting if you're using an actual oil filter socket, but I'm just going to snug it down. When you feel it pretty much bottom out, and then just snug it up with whatever method you choose to use. Okay, there's the oil and filter done. Well, just got to refill the oil now. Okay, and now we're just going to check the oil level just to make sure. So we've put 6.5 litres in, so it's in the menu. Oh, you just go down 1 on the menu. Oh, yep, I know. Vehicle's pretty level at the minute. Give it a sec. Engine oil level okay, so what we're going to do now is start the engine. So as we have had the fuel filter changed, there'll be obviously air in the system. Luckily it's self-bleeding. I'll turn that off, that's very annoying. What you need to do is just turn the ignition on and off, not starting the car obviously, but just turn the ignition on and off a few times, leave it on, let it prime, and this will prime the fuel pump. Just do that as many times as you can be bothered to do, probably 5 or 6 times should be fine, and then when you start it might take a bit longer cranking, and it might also die after it's started, but that's absolutely normal, it's self-bleeding. So yeah, we're just going to do that. Okay, now I'm going to start it. Okay, we'll start it up straight away. And again, it might die, so I'm just going to let it run for a minute as well. Let the oil circulate through the engine, and then I'll check the engine oil level again later. Now I can't check it immediately as it takes, after you've started the engine, it takes about 15-20 minutes because it has to let all the oil drain back down. So okay, now to reset the service interval, turn the ignition to position 2, get rid of that message, and then just go up to, just cycle through where it says, you just press in the up arrow a couple of times to where it says you've exceeded your service, or it'll say service due in, whatever. Trip reset button, press and hold that. It'll say service interval, so release it. Service interval to reset, press reset button for 3 seconds. Do that. There we go, service interval has been reset. Now, service it in 10,000 miles, and you've reset it. Okay, that's how to fully service the W203 C220 Cdi, and again it's the OM646 engine. It will apply to all of that. So if that helps you out, please help me out by dropping a subscribe, dropping a like, you know, commenting if it helped you out or anything. And once again, up in the top right, earlier on in the video, and I'll link to it in the description, there's a more in-depth video, so if you need any more explanation on any of the stuff, then that's your go-to. So I hope this helps you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.